This is 3 News Daily.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Daily on this Friday, February 3rd. I'm Stephanie Haney, and you might notice if you're out and about today, lots of people wearing red. That's because it's National Wear Red Day, and it's to raise awareness about heart disease, which is the #1 killer of women. So this is a great opportunity to remind all of us, get those regular checkups and don't ignore things when your health feels off. All right, in more health news, today the Ohio Department of Health is once again urging residents to protect themselves against COVID-19. Dr. Bruce Vanderhoff held a press conference this morning to give an update on COVID in Ohio, and the doctor said that COVID is still very real and poses a significant threat to vulnerable Ohioans and urged everyone to get updated booster shots. He says today only 41% of Ohioans aged 65 or older have received one.
This is leaving too many people vulnerable. And sadly, it means too many of us are taking unnecessary risks, and that many of the roughly 100 deaths a week in Ohio are in fact preventable.
Now, when we look at Ohioans altogether, only about 15% have gotten the updated booster against COVID-19. Last week, the state reported 8,260 new cases of the virus. The good news here is numbers show a significant drop in COVID cases since December. Doctors were anticipating a spike after the holidays and new variants on the horizon, but they tell our Bree Buckley that things are actually looking up, at least for now.
Just about a month ago, we told you about a new COVID variant on the horizon that doctors were concerned about as they were bracing for a possible surge. Well, that surge didn't hit, which they say could be a good sign moving forward. COVID cases have remained steady and hospitalizations are down following the holidays. Hospitals didn't see a big spike in cases like they did last year, despite people still gathering. Doctors say new variants, while evading immunity, which has been typical, don't appear to be more severe, though they are still encouraging people to get their boosters accordingly and stay vigilant.
RSV and influenza are very, very quiet. The COVID has remained steady. And so hopefully it'll give everybody a little bit of a breather, both in the communities and especially in the hospitals, with our frontline workers who have really just gone above and beyond over the last 3 years.
Another health alert to keep an eye on. The CDC says norovirus cases are spiking across the country. Cleveland Clinic doctors say they've seen an increase in emergency department visits here in Northeast Ohio. It's commonly called the stomach flu and comes with quick nausea, diarrhea, and vomiting, and can be dangerous by causing severe dehydration. Now, doctors say norovirus is extremely contagious, so you should wash your hands frequently and keep your kids home from school if they don't feel well.
Now, the bribery scandal trial involving former Ohio Speaker of the House Larry Householder and lobbyist and former Ohio Republican Party Chair Matt Borges is preparing to wrap up week 2. And with only 5 days of testimony so far, there have been no shortage of fireworks. On Tuesday, Householder's defense team started calling the judge's objectivity into question and the vibes in the courtroom. Court ended on Wednesday with the FBI showing a text from Householder on the day he got elected as House Speaker. That text was sent to former FirstEnergy CEO Chuck Jones saying, "Thanks for everything. It was historical." Now, I've put together a Legally Speaking special that's out now to explain how we got to this point. Here's part of it.
Should have had an honest conversation about what good energy policy in the state looked like that was totally divorced from a scandal-ridden piece of legislation like House Bill 6.
At this point, I think I would be shocked if there's not other folks that get a little dirty from this.
That's just one expert and lawmaker that I talked to break down how all of this happened, and the experts agree this is the biggest bribery scandal in the history of Ohio politics. We walk through what we know about how we got here to the Larry Householder and Matt Borges trial, and it's based on what we know from FirstEnergy admissions, guilty pleas in this case, other lawsuits against FirstEnergy, and experts on energy policy. You can find that special on WKYC Plus, WKYC.com, and also on our WKYC YouTube page. Now, if you stepped outside today, you know it's bitter cold, so several cities are opening up warming centers. The Summit Lake County Community Center will be open today in Akron until 7. In Canton, the Edward Coleman Center will open at 5 p.m. tonight and stay open until 8 a.m. tomorrow. And in Cleveland, 4 recreation centers will be open for extended hours. The Michael Zone, Sterling, Collinwood, and Zelma centers will all be open until 10 p.m. tonight. Wind chills tonight are expected to have us in sub-zero temperatures, so be careful out there. Now, a school musical here in Northeast Ohio is getting national attention over a controversy. The musical, the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, is something that students had already started rehearsing when the Cardinal Local School District in Geauga County canceled it, deeming it inappropriate. Emma Henderson reports.
The cast was set, rehearsals and choreography well underway, and sets and props being created. Then the Cardinal High School cast of the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee was told by the district their show is canceled.
The biggest concern is when we were asking the board, what specifically are your concerns? What specifically are your reasons that you want to cancel this show? We were just given answers like it's vulgar and it's not family friendly.
Mandy Machinga is the assistant director of the show. She says the director was reached out to after the district got complaints about the show. Its mentioning of Jesus and a character that had two dads. But they got this response, reading in part, quote, "Its dialogue and lyrics contain vulgarity and therefore are not suitable for our preteen and teenage students in an educational setting," end quote. Machinga clarified that they are already doing a pared-down high school version of the show, and questionable content had already been removed when the show was rejected by the board.
The cast and the crew talked to all of us, the parents as well, and they said, you know what, let's just start emailing the board, kind of speaking out about this, really just trying to say, please tell us what is wrong with the show.
The students' campaign reaching all the way to Broadway, where the original writers of the play offered to help write a district-approved version of the show, according to Machinga. And Modern Family's Jesse Tyler Ferguson, who was in the original cast, put out a personalized message to the kids.
I want you to know that you all are enough. Whoever you are is enough. And I'm heartbroken for you.
Now, Machinga says without a clear directive on what is questionable in this show, there's no way for them to move forward without running into the same problems.
Now, the school board is having another meeting on Wednesday next week, and students are asking people to show up in support. We have reached out to the district with questions, but haven't heard back, and we'll keep you updated as this story develops. Now, it's hard to believe that baseball is right around the corner, but the Guardians are getting ready to hit the road for spring training. This morning, the team's equipment was packed up, ready to be shipped to Arizona. Players begin reporting to training on February 14th for the love of the game, and the Guardians will open spring training with a game against the Cincinnati Reds on February 25th. And in other sports news, a petition is making rounds online for Mama Kelce to flip the Super Bowl coin. As we know, her sons Travis and Jason Kelce are facing off against each other in the Super Bowl, the first brothers to do it. So fans have now taken it upon themselves to ask the NFL if their mom can do the coin toss. It's currently at just over 30,000 signatures. I'd sign that petition. I would love to see Mama Kelce flip that coin. And they're from Cleveland Heights, so let's see if we can make that happen. That'd be pretty great. All right, thanks for being here with us for today's edition of 3 News Daily. We made it through the week. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday with more of your top stories from around Northeast Ohio.